What's going on, everybody? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another whiptastic ranking video. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. A couple days ago, I posted on social media asking you guys what movie franchise I should do a ranking of that I haven't done yet. And by far the most votes was for Indiana Jones. Now, I kind of debated back and forth because we are going to get Indiana Jones 5 in the future, which I'm very excited for that James Mangold's doing it. But I decided, should I wait to do that Indiana Jones rank until Indy 5 comes out? But I'm like, you know what? I'll do it for you guys. I'm going to be ranking all 4 Indiana Jones movies right now. Be sure to leave your ranking for all the Indiana Jones movies down below in the comment section. Now, this is a subjective list. I'm getting that right off the bat. This is not objective. We're going to have completely different opinions here. This is just my list. Just know that going in. Coming in at number 4 is pretty obvious. It's everyone's least favorite Indiana Jones movie. That is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Russians.
This was a very highly anticipated movie for die-hard Indiana Jones fans. Coming out in 2008, we're getting a lot older Indiana Jones now. Harrison Ford pushing his 60s. And this movie had a lot of hate, a lot of controversy when it was released. I kind of stand on the guilty pleasure side. There's things I really enjoy about the movie and things I do not enjoy at all. I really like Indy finding his, spoiler alert, son in the film, played by Shia LaBeouf. And Shia LaBeouf's not that awful. Even though his character could have been better written, I really liked his chemistry with Harrison Ford. They work really well together. And then Marion returns, and you know Marion is Shia LaBeouf's mother in the film. It was great to see the dynamics and see Marion and Indy reunite. Cate Blanchett was pretty underwhelming as the villain in here. They basically were there just to try to get Indy to find the Crystal Skull and get information out of him. The action sequences, while they are very CGI, so much CGI in this movie, there's this weird Tarzan sequence that doesn't work with me with Shia LaBeouf, and a lot of sword fighting with him that didn't work. But some of the car chases and the fight scenes with Indy and that Russian guy were cool. It's got good parts, it's got some bad parts to it, but I just enjoy this one. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the darkest Indiana Jones movie by far, Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is by far the most controversial Indiana Jones movie when it comes to just the dark elements this movie presented. A lot of parents were horrified that their kids had to see this movie because of some really intense sequences, especially with body parts. I won't spoil it for you. Indy is in his prime, man. Harrison Ford, and I love all his chemistry elements with Short Round, the young kid in here, is really great. I know Short Round gets a lot of hate. I really enjoy that kid. I thought his chemistry with Harrison Ford was fantastic in here. The action sequences in Temple of Doom are just great all around. The final action sequence and the opening one as well just gets really great with dark elements in here. This was a prequel. It was great to see that going right in because it's the most different Indiana Jones movie by far. It really doesn't follow the formula. And Spielberg, I give him credit for putting this in the movie because it gets really dark and violent. You get Indy going weird and crazy. It's full of messed up stuff, but I just love it. Unfortunately, though, my biggest issue with the film has got to be Willie, the love interest character in here to Indy. No disrespect to the actress at all, Kate Capshaw, just the character of Willie gets really annoying and underdeveloped in a lot of scenes in here. Before I reveal my top 2 favorite Indiana Jones movies, if this is your guys' first time checking out my channel and you're enjoying this indie ranking so far, you want to see more awesome rankings and videos from me, hit that like button and consider clicking that subscribe button because I do tons of awesome rankings as well as movie reviews, Blu-ray updates. If you're interested, I also have a podcast called the Fallen for Film Podcast. It's me and my co-host Colin Williams. We have awesome guests on, we dive into the newest trends in movie news, and we do awesome games from time to time as well. We talk tons of movie content, guys. Podcast platform links are in the description if you're interested. Coming in at number 2 is going to be the best dad movie of all time, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Dad! Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! Ah! Head for the fireplace! Oh.
Yes, I did call Last Crusade the best dad movie of all time because this contains easily my favorite father and son duo in movie history. That is Indiana Jones and his father, Dr. Henry Jones the first, played by Sean Connery, James Bond himself, the very first one. Sean Connery was just perfect casting as Indiana Jones' father. They work really well together. Just the dynamics, the comedy, as well as the seriousness. If you're more interested in the entertaining, comedic, and fun aspects of Indiana Jones, then you will love Last Crusade. And it's really difficult for me because I go back and forth with Raiders and Last Crusade of which one is my favorite. Last Crusade is battling, man. This is just a fun movie all around. And might I just say, this is the funniest Indiana Jones movie that has some of the best comedy in the whole entire series. We also see the return of some amazing iconic characters. John Rhys Davies as Sala and Denholm Elliott as Marcus Brody. Two great characters in here. Donovan, played by Julian Glover, a really menacing villain in there. Once you see what happens, it's a cool reveal. And the girl, Elsa Scheider, well, she is drop dead gorgeous. You see why Indy gets those bitter feels in there. And Last Crusade, like I said, it's just fun, as well as the most human Indiana Jones movie. But coming in at number 1 for me is Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of my favorite movies of all time, one of the greatest action-adventure movies ever made. Like I always say, Raiders has one of the greatest movie openings of all time, with Indy and the whip knocking it out of that guy's hand. It's one of the coolest character reveals of all time. And then we meet Belloc, a great Indy villain, great character. He's just like Indy. He wants the Ark of the Covenant. He works for the Nazis, does anything possible to get it. And Indy as well does anything he can to get the Ark of the Covenant. It creates a great mystery as well about Indiana Jones as a character. He's a professor of archaeology as well as just a badass hunter who looks for these objects for museums and profit. Marcus Brody, awesome. Sala, like I said, is awesome. And I love how this movie goes balls out by the end with the burning of the vases with the Ark of the Covenant. It just goes there. And Marion as well, the best Indiana Jones girl. The romance is there. Just everything about Raiders of the Lost Ark, it is difficult to find a flaw, because I don't think there's a flaw. This is a near perfect movie when it comes to action adventure, and it's by far my favorite Indiana Jones movie. There you have it, guys. That was my ranking for all 4 Indiana Jones movies. Again, let me know in the comment section below what your ranking is, and let's have a great conversation. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this whiptastic ranking. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!